Someone is deep in their feelings about you. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family. Someone is deep in their feelings about you. Now, what this simply means is, y'all, is that someone close to you, near and dear to you, maybe a person you are in a relationship with, a person that you are married to, somebody you work with, a person in your family, maybe the entire family, they are in their feelings about you because you reacted a specific way. They are in their feelings about you because you didn't respond the typical way. And that is to be pissed off, mad, talking down on their name, speaking furiously about them, spreading all type of rumors, slandering them the way they did you. Are you following what I'm saying? They are deep in their feelings about you because they know if it was them, they would react or respond a certain way. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I'm not like you. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I'm not like you. Or rather, y'all, they not like us, okay? But with that being said, y'all, it's a real thing. People will be dead in their feelings about you because you didn't bite the bait. They are dead in their feelings about you because they fumbled the bag. They messed up the situation. Y'all ever seen a person have a great job, right? Great career. And I'm not saying this to say that, okay, if a person want to tap into their gift or tap into their calling, they can't do it. I'm not talking about those individuals. I'm talking about people who literally had a good job, whether it was paying them $40,000, $50,000 with benefits, right? $60,000. They had benefits, okay? And they just completely messed it up because they wanted to, go to work late. They wasn't punctual. They wasn't reliable. And so what happened was, y'all, with anything, whatever you don't manage, you will lose. All right? Somebody drop in the comments and say, you will lose what you can't manage. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say you will lose what you can't manage. That person who had that relationship, that person who had that marriage, if they did not manage their spouses and their significant other the way they were supposed to, then they lost it. They will lose it. And so what happened is, y'all, they get deep in their feelings because they no longer have access. Somebody drop in the comments and say access denied. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say access denied. All right. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and tap into this video. All right. Understand something, y'all. Someone is deep in their feelings about you. So if you had a dream, y'all, this is confirmation. If you had a vision, family, this is confirmation. If you believe deep in your heart, like you have a conviction that they're thinking about you, daydreaming about you, they feel bad about what they did, or they're just simply in their feelings, this video is confirmation that you are right. All right. But with that being said, y'all, as y'all can see, we are outside connected with nature on this Sunday. Now, typically, y'all know me. I take off on a Sunday. But I said, nah, we not only did we have a great month, but I also want to say I had this message on my spirit, family. And even with me, y'all, I got some people deep in their feelings. Yeah, family, I do, right? But what I realize is it's not about flaunting it, flexing it. It's all about still winning in God's grace, within God's favor. Still winning and doing you to the best of your abilities, but not trying to be haughty, cocky, but still winning within God's grace. So with that being said, family, as I'm out here in this park, I said, man, I got to give my people this message that hit my spirit, right? And so here we are, y'all. Someone is deep in their feelings about you. Now, as you can see, y'all, we outside connected with nature. Not really too many people out here, y'all, but it's still a great day. The birds are out. Birds are flying. Feel great. I'm sending nothing but love, prosperity, and happiness to the family. So y'all make sure y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. But y'all make sure y'all leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Let's go ahead and get right into this, y'all. Now, the first reason why someone would be deep in their feelings about you is because you took the high road. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you took the high road. See, let's talk about the low road, y'all, before we get to the high road. The low road is stooping down to their level. The low road is becoming just like them. You know, y'all, one thing I always said, and by the way, I'm working on this particular relationship of which I'm going to speak on. But one thing I always said is, I'm not going to be like my dad. I don't want to be like my dad, right? And the reason why, y'all, is because in my younger life, you know, he wasn't as present as he should have. You know, my pops went to prison. You know, I grew up with a stepfather who was abusive, you know, so it was almost like I had that single parent home just with a stepfather, if that makes sense, y'all. And so I always told myself, I'm always be there for my son. I'm always be there for my kids. I'm never going to abandon them. Once again, y'all, not trying to slander my pop's name or speak down on him. I'm just speaking the truth. We are now rekindling our relationship and we are now working on it. So I want to make sure I make that clear. But the point of what I'm saying is, y'all, so many other young men have that same mentality. And you know what happens? They end up becoming just like that person. They take the low road. They end up being exactly like that person. You know, some people feel as if my father wasn't there for me, they may tell themselves, I'm going to always be the best father in the world. But then somehow the cycle repeats itself, which means my father wasn't there for me. Subconsciously, they are not going to be there for their kids. And it's that vicious cycle that continues, right? But within myself, I took the high road. Let's continue going on this journey, y'all, of speaking about the low road. That person at your job, whenever they spoke bad on you, you know, said some things about your name, put some dirt on you, forgetting that you were a flower. Somebody drop in the comments and say, God's flower. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say God's flower. But that person at your job who tried to make your job so difficult, I'm talking about the manager, I'm talking about the supervisor. No, they're never satisfied, right? I mean, it's like you got to have a whole lecture before you ask them to go to the restroom, and you 45, you 31. You 22. You like, hey, man, I'm a grown man. I'm a grown woman. But they're steady trying to make the job more difficult than what it is. And all we're doing is just stacking boxes. All we're doing is just filing papers. All we're doing is basic clerical work. And you're taking your job extremely too serious. And you see that one person who is not taking it so well. So they cuss them out. So they get disorderly. They took the low road. But yourself, when you walk away from it, you take that high road. When you do not respond the way that they are looking for you to respond, you take the high road. Reno, why is taking the high road more of a, attention getter? Or when you take the high road, it hurts a little bit worse because it makes them realize how terrible of a person they are. It makes them feel this small, right? It makes them feel this small. You ever seen someone get into it with somebody and then that person just walk away from them and they take their hand and put it on their shoulder and say, where you going? It seems as if they get so much more furious, so much more mad. You know why, y'all? Because they took the high road. What you are basically saying is, I am better than you. What you're basically saying is, I'm going to move in a more superior way. Not to say that I am superior in terms of materialistic possessions, but I'm going to move like my superiors who are in heaven. Make sense of what I'm saying, family? So ultimately, when you take that high road, they're going to be in their feelings. If you do exactly what they are expecting, which means to be just like them, they have nothing to feel bad about. They're like, ha, you just like me. And understand something. He who angers you conquers you. So if they make you mad enough to be just like them, they conquered you. If they made you depressed enough to end up just like them, they conquered you. If they made you react or respond in a way that you typically would not respond or react, they conquered you. Somebody drop in the comments and say, you can't conquer me. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, you can't conquer me. Next thing, family. Number 2, this is why they are deep in their feelings about you as well. You wrote them off. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you wrote them off. Somebody drop in the comments and say bye-bye. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say bye-bye. And the reason why I'm saying this, y'all, is because when you write people off, people don't realize how valuable you were to them until you're gone. People don't realize how, they should have been appreciating you until you're no longer in their presence. Like, they don't realize what they have until it's gone. And that is natural human nature. I'm not excusing it, but most times, y'all, us as human beings, period, unless you are self-conscious, self-aware, right, and you understand that certain things are privileges, you don't realize what you have until it's gone. Whether that's your mama, your grandmama, your daddy, right, siblings, being able to have your freedom. I mean, the list goes on. So understand something, y'all. When you wrote them off, you messed them up. See, in a relationship, y'all, I'm sure y'all grew up in some perfect homes, right? But for those who grew up similar to me, such as people who grew up in domestic violence, seeing abuse, just households that wasn't all peaches and cream. And I know some of y'all stories, so I know some of y'all can agree with me on this, and y'all can attest to this. But within that relationship, if a person stopped arguing back, exchanging words, going back and forth, trying to explain themselves, the list goes on. If they stop that, that means they have officially wrote you off. That's why when you're talking about being in these toxic households, toxic relationships, and if you grew up seeing this, you would notice that if no one is arguing, something going on. Mama finna get a divorce, daddy finna get a divorce, something is about to happen. But as long as everybody was arguing, going back and forth, it seemed normal. See, we had normalized toxic behavior. We had normalized things that was not supposed to be looked at as average. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? But ultimately, the whole point of what I'm saying is that when a person no longer goes back and forth, when a person gets silent on you, that means they have wrote you off. Listen, family, when people stop talking, period, that means that they have now placed their eggs in another basket. What am I trying to explain? I'm done. Somebody drop that down below in the comments. I'm done. I'm done trying to explain myself. I'm done trying to make space for you in my life. I'm done trying to compare myself. I am done, placing myself last and putting you before me, but you don't even appreciate it. I'm done. And one thing about women, y'all, is that a woman, when she stops nagging, when she stops talking, when she stops, explaining and expressing herself, she done. That means she wrote you off. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? So ultimately, the reason why that person is deep in their feelings about you is because they know you wrote them off. You're not arguing with them anymore. You're not trying with them anymore. You're not trying to give them information or even simple keys to help them with their behavior or simple keys to get them to understand you as you are understanding or attempting to understand them. Make sense of what I'm saying, family? Drop in the comments and let me know. You wrote them off. Number 3, family, the third thing of why a person is, deep in their feelings about you is simply going to be this right here, y'all. You declined the invitation. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you declined the invitation. Now, it's real. When a person can have everything there is to offer. It's real. When a person can have everything that it is you need, you want. But simply because it's them who is offering it, you're willing to pass it up. Reno, how important is that? That simply means that they've either done you so wrong, they're so terrible of a person, they're ingenuine, right? Or your spirit just don't sit well or align with them anymore to where you're saying, you know what? I don't care what I need or want, I will figure it out. Now, we got some grimy people out here, y'all, who they'll sit down and have dinner with the devil, right? They don't care. Neanderthals, they just, I'm going to get it how I get it. I get it how I live. But when you are a person with integrity, morality, principles, you're like, look, I don't care if you got $1 million to offer me. I am not going to take it, right? I don't care if you have $1 billion. I am not going to take it. You declined the invitation. I'll never forget, y'all, I was watching a podcast and an interview with Master P, and he said that him and his brother C Murder were trying to get their first record deal. And they had, I think they had a talk with Atlantic Records, or it was Warner. It was some big, record company. It's a whole bunch of them. And he said the first time he went to speak with them, they wanted to give them $1 million. $1 million. Now, I know, y'all, you like, hey, man, I'm sure he took the money. Didn't he? No, y'all, he didn't take it, right? Number one is because he knew his value. But number two, it was a clear indication that he was declining the invitation, right? See, sometimes, y'all, it's not about what a person have to offer you. Sometimes, y'all, it's not about what a person can do for you. It's just about, will my heart feel good there? Will my mind be at peace there? Will I not feel that chaos? Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? So ultimately, y'all, when you decline the invitation, you're telling them, I don't care what you are trying to invite me to. Whether that is an invitation to your life, invitation to your luxury, an invitation to your new car, an invitation to see what you have now. No. You declined the invitation, and that hurts. Y'all remember the music video back in the 2000s, Ruben Studdard song called I'm Sorry? He kept telling the girl in the video, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And I think he was giving her balloons on balloons. He filled up the house with roses, blimps, billboards of saying I love you and I'm sorry and I miss you, right? The point of what I'm saying is, y'all, at the end of the video, I think she still declined the invitation. The point is, y'all, it don't matter how much you do for a person. It don't matter what you have to offer a person. It don't matter what you're willing to give them. Once you have burnt that relationship and burnt that bridge, the invitation will be permanently declined. Somebody drop in the comments and say, decline the invitation. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, decline the invitation. Okay? And so this leads to the next point, which is number 4. They lost a real one. Oh, yeah, y'all. They know it's real when you have lost or when you have declined the invitation, but it really sinks because now they understand that they have lost a real one. That's number 4, y'all. When you lose a real one, you have lost a friend, right? You lost a real person in your life. You lost a cousin, a brother, a sister. You lost a family member, a mentor, a counselor. Right? See, listen, y'all, when I've had, friends in my life, right, I would consider myself to have associates now. I don't really have many friends, but when I had friends, they can call me at 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. They can call me at 5 in the morning. If I see that text, if I see that call, I'm going to reach back out. That's a real one, right? See, when you are a true friend, it's not about the convenience of me. See, when you are a true friend, it don't matter if they hit you at an inconvenient time. That is a true friend. It's not about what I got to do. It's not about where I have to be. It's not about what I need to be doing. It's not about any of that. Make sense of what I'm saying, family? So when you are a real one, you got to understand something, y'all. You don't come a dime a dozen. You don't come around every day. You're a real one. All my real ones drop in the comments just the number 100. That's it, y'all. All my real ones drop in the comments just the number 100, family. They lost a real one, and they know it, all right? The last thing, family, is gonna be this right here, number 5. As y'all can see, it's starting to rain a little bit, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. But number 5, y'all, is you leveled up, okay? You leveled up. There's nothing wrong with leveling up, family. Sometimes you have to leave your old self to go to the new place that God has for you, which means I gotta leave old friends. I gotta leave old habits. I gotta leave old churches. I gotta leave old places that don't mean me no well, okay? I gotta leave old family members. Understand something, y'all, you have leveled up. And see, they are now in their feelings about that. Because they could have been eating with you, but they choose to starve. They could have been riding with you, but they chose to walk. Understand what I'm saying, y'all? They could have been at the top with you, but they chose to stay at the bottom. And they got mad at you because you chose otherwise. You chose to win, to no longer be a loser, right? Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. So you have leveled up so much to where they're now having dreams and visions about how it used to be with y'all, knowing that it'll never come to pass nor fruition. They messed it up. It was their call, not yours. You leveled up, family, all right? But with that being said, family, this is the ultimate moral of this video. They are deep in their feelings about you. Let's do a recap, family, then we'll conclude this video. Number 1, y'all, you took the high road. Anytime you take that high road, you are showing them that you are better than them. Number 2, y'all, you wrote them off. You ain't arguing. You're not going back and forth. None of that. Number 3, you declined the invitation. So what? They have given you another invitation to come into their lives, to see their nice place, to see their nice car, to do whatever. You declined the invitation. You don't care if it's $1 million. You ain't going. Number 4, they lost the real one, y'all. This one hurts worse than any of these ones I gave you. And number 5, y'all, you leveled up. All right? But with that being said, family, y'all already know how we do. Y'all make sure y'all check out any one of those Yes Sir t-shirts. Book a one-on-one session with me. It is a limited time offer only. Y'all be sure to enroll into my social influence course, as well as check out any one of my books. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.